Okay, this is a response to browncoateric's next 5 island books. I did the first 5 when he did the first video originally, and I'm going to respond again. For those you don't know, the idea is you're stuck on an island, and what 5 books would you bring on an island? My previous 5 was Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns. What else? Marvels. Sorry, I have a bad memory. And because I didn't think of it at the time, the 2 volumes of DC New Frontier. Back then, I would have said The Absolute for DC New Frontier and some other book. But, you know, I'm not going to take my decisions back now. So, this is the next 5. I miraculously found these on the island somewhere after Hurley and the professor told me where they are. And, I'm letting Hurley read the previous 5, and the doctor has to wait his turn, or the professor, whatever. And these books I'm choosing will be good, are very good. So let's start. Okay, first thing is the Ultimates Omnibus. That has Mark Millar's stuff and Brian Hitch's stuff in it. That collects Ultimates. All 13 issues of Ultimates 1, all 13 issues of Ultimates 2, and an annual that Mark Millar did, and Steve Dillon did the art for. Now, I've only read Ultimates 1. I haven't read Ultimates 2 yet, but from what I've heard from everyone, it is awesome, and I will read it. Why do I suggest this? Just from reading the first Ultimates, the art's beautiful, the story is nice, characters are interesting. I really didn't have an interest in the Ultimate News before reading this, and now after reading this, I completely think this is one of the greatest works in modern comics. There's a reason why Mark Millar is one of the popular writers out there, and this is probably it. So yes, and also this book's pretty thick, will be useful, because I need to hunt down animals on the island, and those damn polar bears will kill me. Did I forget to mention J.J. Abrams is also on this island? Yes, well, he controls the island. I don't know what that means. I might not live. So, yes, that's my first one. Next is Superman Red Sun, another Mark Millar book. Now, I kind of didn't think of this at the time when I did the first one. I don't know why, probably because I was young and naive 5 months ago. Which we all are. So, this is essentially more reasons why Mark Millar is great. This, which is the first book I've ever reviewed, check my review. This takes the classic Superman story and slightly alters it, and Mark Millar doesn't leave anything, like, he gets all the bases, like, okay, if this happens, what would happen to Lois and Jimmy, and like what would happen to a lot of other characters. Everything's kind of well thought out, and the art's nice too, mostly by Dave Johnson, and I think the last issue's done by Killen Pluckett. This story's great. It has a twist ending that really kind of takes this already kind of interesting story and just twists it, turns it on its head. I would definitely go for it. Okay, the next one is the first Brubaker Captain America Omnibus. I actually did somewhat of a review of the Omnibus with Death God Storm on his channel, and I only own the first 4 trades, which is Winter Soldiers Volume 1 and 2 and Red Menace Volumes 1 and 2. I do not own the Civil War trade. I will probably never will read it, because I just think Civil War was terrible, so why would I read tie-ins that were terrible, not because of Ed Brubaker. Well, yes, it was because of Ed Brubaker, because he didn't care about it. He didn't care about Civil War, so, you know, just wrote him just to get the paycheck. Why is this good? Because these volumes, even up to the death, because it collects all the first 5 trades in the death issue, because they needed to obviously cap that off with that. It would make sense. Why? Because, A, you have Ed Brubaker writing. Ed Brubaker's good with good spy espionage stories. You have he does a good job of kind of building up Steve Rogers. By the time he dies, you're like, Steve Rogers is the greatest thing ever. The art's great. it's mostly done by Steve Epting, Michael Lark does flashbacks, and there's other fill-in artists. It's great. It brought back Bucky, which no one thought would be interesting, but it was. It was awesome. Okay, next is the Superman, All-Star Superman Absolute Edition. Now, I only have the 2 hardcovers with me, but in October there's going to be a Absolute that collects the entire series in one book. It's expensive, and why? It's Grant Morrison, Frank Quitely. This is probably the best. This will probably be one of the best Superman stories ever. I hope that, like, someday this is going to be. I think this story, though many people do think the same opinion, it should be up there with Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, all the good legendary comics. And the last book is kind of a new thing, because I recently read it and I did a review of it, is Punisher, Welcome Back, Frank. I did my review of it, so I won't glance for it completely, but this story is interesting. It has a dark sense of humor. It has cool action. It has very interesting dialogue. It really gave a reason why the Punisher should not be taken lightly as a guy who just kills people. This is the first volume. I only have this. If I read more of Punisher, I would probably recommend the Garfield Omnibus, but I've only read this. So yes, definitely, this would be a book I'd have, and also it would train my mind to be a killer on the island. So I'd be able to take the 2 omnibuses I will have with me to kill all the animals on the island for food. Well, not all of them. I need to keep some alive. Now that you all know my plan. So that's my second 5. This will be a response to Eric's video, so make sure you go to that and respond yourself. Thanks, guys. Peace.